Okay, we are back, and we're going to start case number 53 now. But first, I'm sure I did this already. Yep. Playing dead. Yeesh. Matthew, I'm still reeling from all that's happened. Zoe's dead, and Jones tried to take his own life. Jones is out of danger thanks to you, Matthew, but he's on leave till he feels ready to work again. Zoe's murder wasn't just a personal tragedy for Jones. She was crucial to us as a potential witness against Ad Astra. Yes, we know they made a serum which can enhance humans by making them super strong and resilient. Turns out this serum was given to Zoe, and it gave her the power to move things with her mind. But it seems telekinesis was not the intended effect of the serum. That might be why Ad Astra have not yet started using it on themselves. All the better to rule over the sheeple. I dread to imagine the havoc a superhuman version of Rosetta Pierre could wreak. They've got to be stopped, Matthew. There's another thing, Chief. We also discovered that Louis LaRue knew about Zoe's telekinetic powers, which led him to make his own investigations. It's possible he's uncovered something about the serum that he hasn't shared with us. That's why I want you to make a sweep of the CCN TV television studio where LaRue works. Good idea, Chief. Matthew, let's get straight to the studio. And this is where I hope to work someday. Always wanted to be on TV. To see it regularly, that'd be cool. But I know there's a lot more to it than that. I'll say that right now. I know there's a lot more to it than just talking in front of a camera. And that's what I am planning to do. I'm willing to accept the challenge, and I believe that I can do it. I just gotta do it when it counts. Oh boy. SB. Might be the initials of the victim. My God, Matthew! There's a dead woman here! Her face and body are riddled with burns. It looks like someone threw some kind of corrosive chemical all over her. This is a murder victim, Matthew. You're right. We know this woman. It's that actress, Savannah Blake. She's in that Transmutators movie Carter loves so much. We last crossed paths with Savannah while investigating the murder of Cora Bateman. Savannah was probably at the CCN studio for an interview. But who did this to her, and why? And how come the studio's so empty? I guess it'll make it easier for us to secure the crime scene. Anyway, I see you've already found some clues. Those are the victim's initials on that phone. We should unlock it. And that bouquet of flowers was gifted to Savannah. Let's find out what else is written on the faded tag. Matthew, finding Louis LaRue's research on Ad Astra will have to take a backseat until we've solved Savannah Blake's murder. And I'm gonna get started. Sit tight, everybody. Okay, I've got myself 6 stars. I'm gonna take care of the phone right now because I'm actually on really borrowed time. Born for fame. Huh. You've unlocked Savannah's phone, Matthew. Let's get it to Kathy. Christian Bateman. Matthew, the tag on the victim's bouquet reads, Savannah, break a leg, Christian B. Christian B? As in Christian Bateman, that crazy psychopath who's in Ad Astra? We know Savannah and Bateman were acquainted. In fact, wasn't Bateman's mother trying to set them up? Unsuccessfully, as I recall? We better ask Bateman why he sent flowers to Savannah. Senior Trooper Matthew, you clearly can't get enough of me. What do you want this time? Mr. Bateman, Savannah Blake has just been murdered. And we found a bouquet of flowers on the crime scene. From you. Savannah's been murdered. I suppose I should feel sad. Sav and I have been friends since university. I dropped by the studio to give her a good luck bouquet before her interview. My therapist said people like these kinds of silly gestures. Hang on, you went to university with Savannah? But she implies she only knew you through your mother, and didn't even like you. Oh, that's right. I forgot I was supposed to keep our friendship a secret. You see, once Savannah got famous, she became obsessed with her public image. She said she couldn't be seen being pally with an ex-convict. Ironic that the journalist who was supposed to interview her was also a criminal. Poor Savannah. Being famous doesn't bring you luck, it seems. Ugh. Bateman was as annoyingly smarmy as ever, Matthew. But if he and Savannah were university friends, could there be an Ad Astra connection? We know that's where the 5 conspirators first met. Bateman also revealed that Louis LaRue was set to interview Savannah, which means Savannah probably visited LaRue's office. Let's look for clues there. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to do all this. I'm probably gonna do the crime scene, and then I'll probably get the rest of it out of the way tomorrow morning. This is above and beyond cutting it way close. Okay, I see the dumbbell. Matthew, there's LaRue's desk. I guess it'll be assigned to someone else since he won't be coming back anytime soon. But look, Savannah Blake's initials are on this handbag. This means she did come here before her interview. And these pieces of metal are worth putting back together. I agree. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop here, and I'll see you guys then. Well, I did say I was low on time last night, but I didn't have enough time this morning to get this out of the way, so we're going to do everything right now. Pulitzer Prize for Journalism. There we go. This is a trophy for the Pulitzer Prize for Journalism, Matthew. It was won by someone called Rick Murray. Wait, you say you met this Murray person while investigating the kidnapping of our president, Matthew? You've dealt with some pretty high-profile cases, haven't you? I'm impressed. Anyway, it appears that Mr. Murray's now in Grimsboro. Let's have a chat with him. Yeah, I had forgotten all about him. Matthew, we meet again. Are you here to investigate Savannah Blake's murder? I need the inside scoop. Tell me everything. Mr. Murray, as a seasoned journalist, you should know that our findings in a criminal investigation must remain confidential. Last we heard, you were in New York. What brings you here? I'm 60 years old, man. I needed a quieter life away from the Big Apple. So I upped sticks and drove me and my trusted Rollington typewriter down to Little Grimsboro. Did you give up on your old life so much that you felt compelled to smash your Pulitzer Award? Ah, no. That was an unfortunate accident. Thanks for fixing it. Anyway, these days I'm mostly doing fluff pieces like celebrity interviews. That's why I was down to chat to this Savannah gal after you folks put LaRue in jail. Did you happen to see anything suspicious relating to Miss Blake or her murder? Nah, I just got into the office myself. Don't need much preparing for interviews when you're as experienced as me. Now, if you're done with your questioning, I've got some transcribing to do. Collage of Savannah. Matthew, what's this collage made of photos of Savannah doing in her handbag? It's signed by someone named Izzy, and she wrote, "I'm watching you" on it. You're right, we know an Izzy, that harebrained conspiracy theorist we last met during the recent blackout. We should ask Izzy why she was so interested in Savannah Blake. Senior Trooper Matthew, is it true? Has Savannah Blake been murdered? The fact that you know this shows you have been watching Miss Blake closely, just as you wrote on the collage you made of her. I have been watching Savannah's every move. I put up alerts on all her social media accounts, which is how I knew she was going to CCN today. I drove straight to the studio to catch a glimpse of her, but everything had been cordoned off and someone said she was dead. Why the intense obsession with Miss Blake? Savannah was the only one keeping it real in fake plastic celebrity land. That's why they killed her, and that's why she was my idol. I sent her that collage to show her my admiration. I'm sure she treasured it. Right. So that collage of yours was a compliment, not a threat. Of course! Senior Trooper Matthew, now I'll be watching you to make sure you catch the monster that killed Savannah. I know the phone is unlocked, or the unlocked phone is done, but the victim's body has just a little bit more to go, so I'm going to get all the stars. So sit tight, everybody. Okay, autopsy's almost done. I'm going to go ahead and get the results of the phone first. I can't believe it about Savannah Blake, Matthew. Alex and I loved watching her on Upton Abbey. I guess they'll have to kill her character off somehow. I love that show too, but Kathy, did Savannah's phone reveal anything about a real-life killer? Yes, it turns out that Savannah's murderer is also a fan of her work. I found an SMS on her phone from an anonymous number saying, "I will burn you, Megatron 127. Burn you? But this is what happened to Savannah. Exactly, which is why this is clearly a threat from her killer. But also, it's a quote from Transmutators 9, the hit blockbuster Savannah was in, which means whoever murdered her has watched this movie. Matthew, the killer's knowledge of Transmutators 9 won't impress the judge when they're standing trial for murder. Okay, sit tight, everybody. Okay. Autopsy is done. Matthew, you know I'm usually quite blazed with death, but the way your victim was murdered is truly horrific. The killer threw some heavy-duty acid over her, which caused third-degree burns on a large proportion of her upper body and face. Her injuries were so agonizing that the poor girl died of shock from the pain. What a monstrous way to murder someone. Martine, did Savannah's body provide anything that could lead us to her sadistic killer? Well, I broke down the components of the acid on her skin, and they included sodium hypochlorite, triethyl phosphate, and a bunch of other chemicals I won't bore you with. What's important is that these were all the ingredients you'd find in Mr. Bicep's drain unblocker. That stuff is lethal. So our murder weapon is Mr. Bicep's drain unblocker? Correct. And it also means our killer has access to the super powerful cleaning product. Well, Savannah Blake's killer will soon realize that Mr. Biceps won't unblock their prison sentence, Matthew. That's a new murder weapon. Matthew, we came to the CCM studio hoping to dig up any useful research Louis LaRue might be hiding on Ad Astra. But instead we discovered actress Savannah Blake's murdered corpse. Who could have been sadistic enough to douse her in acid and let her die in agonizing pain? For starters, we found out Christian Bateman and Savannah went to university together, but she hid their friendship out of vanity. Izzy Ramsey and journalist Rick Murray are also possibly implicated. Could they... This is unacceptable. Ma'am, who are... Savannah Blake cannot be dead. I will not allow it. And we'll see you guys for Chapter 2. Do not go anywhere. Alright, we are back. Let's start Chapter 2 of Playing Dead. We last left off with another... This one here, Clarice Gold. This was where we left off on. Ma'am, please lower your voice and identify yourself immediately. Clarice Gold, publicist to the A-list. Savannah Blake was my biggest client. So you're Miss Blake's publicist. Then Senior Trooper Matthew will have some questions for you once you've calmed down. Raining outside right now. Lucky thing my day is already over. Senior Trooper Matthew, Savannah Blake's dead. My career's over. Kaput. Now I'm sure you'll overcome this. I've got 1,000,000 calls to make, fires to put out. Why can I never find the number for Hearsay Weekly? Miss Gold, put down your phone and concentrate. Now what can you tell us about Miss Blake? I took Savannah on as a client when she was just another pretty face. That's my skill, knowing talent when I see it. And just as I predicted, Savannah became an international superstar. I loved her best in Transmutators 9. I was literally just with Savannah at the Skin Station Spa to discuss today's schedule. How could she be dead? So Miss Blake was at the Skin Station Spa earlier. Alright, Miss Gold, we'll leave you to your publicist dramas while Senior Trooper Matthew and I check it out. Maybe the publicist might have done it, but we'll see. As you can see, my 5 hints are piling up. All the stars are collected in the bonus scene. What I wouldn't give for a massage in this fancy spa, Matthew. But yes, back to business. Trust Savannah to have her name monogrammed on her spa bathrobe. Let's see if there's anything interesting hiding in the pocket. And the login name on that laptop is Savannah Star. It must also belong to our victim. We better figure out the password. Okay, let's get the bathrobe out of the way first. Aha! Yikes. Oh my! The man in this photo you found in Savannah Blake's bathrobe is rather muscly, Matthew. If Savannah was carrying this photo of him, they must have been pretty close. Let's try to identify this hunt through our database. Leif Strom. Matthew, the man in Savannah's photograph is an actor called Leif Strom. Never heard of him. I really need to brush up on my celebrity gossip. Savannah definitely did know this Leif fellow, though, seeing she was carrying around a semi-naked photo of him. Let's ask Leif the exact nature of his and Savannah's relationship. Leif, however you want to pronounce it. Hey there, beautiful. You here for a selfie with me? No. We're actually here to talk to you about Savannah Blake. Ah, have you seen her? We're booked in for a couple's facial in a few minutes. It seems you haven't heard. I'm sorry to tell you that Miss Blake has been murdered. Murdered? But we were going to be the next Brangelina. We thought you might have been romantically involved when we found your photo in Savannah's bathrobe pocket. Yes, we were together, but it was for publicity's sake. There were no feelings involved. I'm an up-and-coming actor, and from the moment I saw her in Transmutators 9, I knew being her boyfriend would make me famous too. And Savannah loves having a nice bit of muscle to fool around with between the sheets, if you catch my drift. Oh man, it's going to be hard to find another babe of Savannah standing to boost my career. Six, 1, 1. 6, 3, 1, 3, 6. 1, 4, 6, 3, 6. Got it. Alright. Now you've cracked Savannah's laptop password. Let's get it to the lab, Matthew. And that's 12 hours, and I'll see you guys when this is done. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the unlocked laptop from Alex. Matthew, Sammy has chicken pox, and all he wants is his mom, so I'll be standing in for Kathy today. Ah, poor Sammy. I remember when Carter went through this. Not a happy time. Nope. And it looks like your victim went through their own unhappy time with one of your suspects. It was all recorded on a video file saved on Savannah's laptop. Take a look. Also enjoying a little macaroni with me. I can't believe you do this, Christian. It doesn't matter what you think, Savannah. You're not the boss of me. You do well to remember this, or you'll be sorry. Oh, wow. Did we just see Christian Bateman lose it with Savannah? Yep. It sounds like Savannah disagreed with Bateman about something, but it isn't clear what. We know Bateman's a psychopath and an ad astra. I dread to imagine what he'd do if you crossed him. We better question him. Senior Trooper Matthew, can you believe it? My sink's blocked and my housekeeper just quit, so I've had to use Mr. Biceps like a commoner. How difficult that must be for you. I'm afraid that we're about to make your life more complicated. We know about your argument with Savannah Blake. How like Savannah to record our little squabble. What was it about, Bateman? Did it have to do with whatever you and your fellow ad-asters are cooking up? You sound obsessed, Senior Trooper Matthew. Ad Astra is all you ever want to talk about. Why don't we discuss movies for once? Transmutators 9 was pretty good. Look, that argument was just a tiff between friends. I'm kind of stressed out these days, and I snapped. But Savannah treated me to a flat white coffee afterward, and we made up. Anyway, I didn't kill her, if that's your concern. I'm afraid we won't be taking your word for that, Bateman. We'll be back if the evidence points to your guilt. Speaking of evidence, let's make another sweep of the CCN office, Matthew. Okay, I see the calendar. Look, Matthew, someone stuck a flyer for Upton Abbey in the bullseye of this target. Could they have had it in for the show's star actress or our victim? Let's see if that blue powder on the target can help us identify who did it. And if you want to tape up those pieces of cardboard, be my guest. Got it. Let's examine the blue powder from the target in more detail, Matthew. Dried ink from a typewriter. Matthew, that blue powder on the target is dried ink used in Rollington typewriters. You're right. Rick Murray mentioned owning a Rollington, so he was the one throwing darts at Savannah's show flyer? Murray had better tell us what he had against Savannah Blake. Mr. Murray, we found ink from your typewriter all over this Upton Abbey flyer you've been using as target practice. What's that about? Alright, I'll come clean. The truth is, I'm in Grimsboro because I got demoted, and it's all Savannah Blake's fault. What does your demotion have to do with Miss Blake? I simply wrote a scathing op-ed piece on the demise of the movie industry with a particular focus on Transmutators 9. That piece of junk film is so terrible. I'd rather spend all day on blocking drains with Mr. Biceps than watch it again. Blake's performance was the worst, and I didn't mince my words about it. But she couldn't take criticism and sued me for defamation. That's why you find me, a Pulitzer Prize winner, wasting my talent in this one-horse town, all because of Savannah Blake. Mr. Murray, if we discover you killed Savannah Blake, you'll find yourself wasting your talent in a jail cell. Got it. Matthew, this is a tag from a Mr. Biceps bottle. Given that we found the tag here, it's got to have fallen off the murder weapon. Let's see if Amir can find any evidence on the tag. $12, that's gonna do. I'll have all stars collected by then, and I'll see you all later. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of Mr. Biceps tag. Hey Matthew, I've just been to see Jones. How's he doing after everything that happened with Zoe? Not great. I took him out to his favorite cafe to try and cheer him up, but he wouldn't even look at the donuts. Anyway, I had a coffee, which brings me to the Mr. Biceps tag you sent in. There was espresso and microfoam on it. Microfoam? What's that? It's frothed milk with a velvety texture that's used to make flat white coffee, and traces of it were left on that tag. Martine confirmed that there was no flat white in your victim's stomach, so it must be your killer who enjoys this caffeinated beverage. Well, our killer had better be ready to swap flat white for instant coffee from the prison commissary, Matthew. And yeah, I also remember Christian Bateman mentioning drinking flat whites. I'll add it to his profile. Now, it turns out not everyone was a fan of Savannah Blake in her films. The fact that Christian Bateman was threatening her is hardly a surprise. He's a psychopath. But I had no idea that Rick Murray blamed her for his demotion. Could he have murdered her out of revenge? Meanwhile, Savannah's wannabe celebrity boyfriend and her publicist both seem to care more about their careers than her death. Maybe if we... One sec, Matthew, my phone's ringing. Hello, Detective Hayes here. Gloria, Matthew, I just got a call from one of my informants. CCN's about to go live with a report on Savannah Blake's murder. What? But that could compromise our investigation. We've got to stop them. And we'll see you guys for Chapter 3. Okay, we've come back. Let's start Chapter 3 of Playing Dead. I have an orange juice with me. ACN's about to broadcast information about Savannah Blake's murder from outside the spa. What? That'll attract tons of people to the spa, which could compromise our investigation. We've got to stop them. Matthew, we need to get over to the spa at once. Oh boy. Rick Murray here, folks, with some breaking news. Behind me you see one of the last places Savannah Blake visited before she was so violently murdered. Stop right there, Mr. Murray, and turn off that microphone. We're just reporting the news, man. It ain't illegal. It is, when it could compromise an ongoing investigation. What's more, you're one of our suspects, so unless you want to spend the rest of the day in custody, you better stop this broadcast. Alright, don't have a cow, man. I won't reveal anything about Savannah Blake's death until you find your killer. And I promise you, it ain't me. We'll know for sure soon enough, Mr. Murray. Matthew, Murray's wasted enough of our time, but since we're here, let's push on with our investigation by taking another look around the spa. Got it. There we are. Matthew, this looks like a voucher for the spa. And look, it's signed Savannah. There's also a message on it, but it's all but faded. Let's recover it. You also found this little velvet box. How intriguing. We'd better unlock it. And you think this broken doll is worth reassembling? I'll trust your instincts, Matthew. We're not far behind our killer. I know it. Got it. Matthew, this is a figurine of Savannah Blake's character in Transmutators 9. Carter got the entire set for Christmas. But Carter's doll didn't have these numbers written on it. Maybe Ramirez will know what the numbers are about. Let's get the figurine to him. Got it. This spa voucher is addressed to Clarice, Matthew. We know someone by that name, Savannah's publicist. So the voucher must have been a present from Savannah to Clarice Gold. But wait, look at the message. Clarice, if I give you this voucher, will you finally let go of your silly grudge? So the voucher was less a gift and more a peace offering to Clarice. Let's find out why she had a grudge against Savannah. make this quick, Senior Trooper Matthew. I'm a busy woman. A busy woman who we know had a grudge against our victim. We found the voucher Savannah Blake gave you. Oh, that girl and her vouchers. As though it would make up for the hell she put me through. What are you talking about, Miss Gold? Savannah was a total diva, Senior Trooper Matthew. I was her publicist, but she treated me like her slave. I barely got to enjoy my daily flat white, and once she even made me unblock her toilet with Mr. Biceps. Another time I was having family issues, but Savannah just yelled at me and forced me to attend all her press junkets instead of taking time off. It must have been difficult to work for someone so demanding, Miss Gold, but let's not find out you murdered Savannah Blake in retaliation for her actions. Love story. That is one blingy ring in the box you unlocked, Matthew. It was clearly a gift for Savannah. Look, there's a note. Sav, I won't take no for an answer. L. Sav must refer to Savannah, and L has got to be Leif Strom, her celebrity boyfriend. Was Leif trying to propose? I thought Leif considered Savannah only a means to an end in his quest for celebrity status. But this ring paints a different picture. We better talk to him. Senior Trooper Matthew, could you be a darling and get me a flat white? I'd go myself, but I can't deal with fans hounding me about Savannah. No. We're here to ask you about this ring. Why didn't you tell us you proposed to Savannah this morning? Because a woman turned me down for the 3rd time. She turned you down 3 times? How did you take it? I couldn't believe it. Who turns a hottie like me down? And I'm not just a pretty face, Senior Trooper Matthew. I also read books, keep my bathroom clean with Mr. Biceps, cook great meals. Anyway, my patience with Savannah was wearing thin, as you can imagine. So this morning I told her it was her last chance. Marry me or else. Or else you'd throw acid in her face for daring to reject you? No, Senior Trooper Matthew. Living without me would have been punishment enough. And we'll see you guys when the Savannah Blake figurine has run its course. See you all later. Okay, we are back, and let's get the results of the Savannah Blake figurine. Hey Matthew, ever been to the Cayman Islands? It was the last holiday Jake and I went on before we split up. I'll never forget those beautiful turquoise waters. Well, your victim was also a fan of the place, but more because of the tax breaks than the beach. It's those numbers on the figurine you sent me. They match a bank account in the Caymans. So Savannah Blake had an offshore bank account. Most wealthy people do. What's the catch, Ramirez? The catch is that the money Savannah was depositing didn't come from her movie income. Then where did it come from? I'm still looking into it, but meanwhile, you might want to talk to Izzy Ramsey. Gabriel checked the handwriting of the numbers on the figurine, and it matched hers. Izzy Ramsey? How on earth would she know about Savannah's finances? Alright, Matthew, we better bring her in. Miss Ramsey, please explain what you're doing in possession of Savannah Blake's bank information. So you found my figurine then. Well, I wouldn't need to explain this if you were actually doing your job. Look, you know that Savannah was my idol, partly because of that charity she'd set up for the Grimsboro earthquake victims. That's why I had to know everything about her. But then I found out that her charity was a scam. Savannah wasn't helping the victims at all. That account of hers was full of stolen money, Senior Trooper Matthew. Savannah was keeping all the money people donated for herself. Savannah was just as bad as them all. Ms. Ramsey, you've made some outlandish claims in the past. How can we know that what you're saying about Savannah Blake is true? I got tons of proof. I'll give it all to you. Everyone needs to know the truth about unsaintly Savannah. Please do. What Miss Blake did was reprehensible, but I hope for your sake that you didn't murder her because of it. Matthew, we've now discovered that Savannah Blake had quite a callous side. If Izzy Ramsey's to be believed, then the actress used her charity as a front to embezzle money. And according to Savannah's publicist, she was an uncaring diva with no empathy for those who worked for her. Then there's the ego-bruised Leif Strom, whose marriage proposal Savannah rejected. Could any of these people have killed our victim in retaliation for her actions? I agree. There's only one way to find out. More investigating. So let's make one final sweep of the studio where we found Savannah's body. Oh, let me just repeat this one first. Savannah was just as bad as all the others. She betrayed me. Okay. Got it. Matthew, is that an empty bottle of Mr. Bicep's drain unblocker? It's gotta be our murder weapon. There's a bluish stain on it. Let's get a sample, but be careful in case there's acid in it. And there could be something hiding in that box of studio paraphernalia. Let's dive in. We're on the heels of our killer, so let's not lose momentum, Matthew. Got it. Amir will know what to make of this blue liquid you got from the murder weapon, Matthew. Let's get it straight to him. 9 hours and the box of studio paraphernalia. Got it. A handkerchief. This handkerchief discarded in the box of studio stuff has got acid burn marks on it, Matthew. You're right. The killer must have used the cloth to protect themselves while throwing acid on our victim. Quick, let's send the handkerchief to Amir. And I'll see you guys when both of these are finished. See y'all soon. Alright, we are returned. Let's get the results of the blue liquid right now. Matthew, did I tell you about the time I got my ears pierced? My mom almost killed me. Amir, that sounds like a hilarious story, but right now we've got a killer to catch. Don't worry, Gloria, I was getting to that. You see, the blue residue you collected from the murder weapon had exactly the same chemical consistency as the products I bought to keep my sterling silver earrings clean. Therefore, there's no doubt in my mind that Savannah Blake's killer is wearing silver earrings, and shiny ones at that. Huh. Well, Matthew, we'll make sure to serve our silver earring-wearing killer's sentence on a silver platter. Amir, please tell us you picked up something about Savannah Blake's killer from the handkerchief we sent you. Well, as you suspected, your killer used this handkerchief to protect their hand from the acid they threw on Savannah Blake. However, the flimsy piece of cloth was not very effective against the deadly murder weapon, so your killer also got burnt in the process. These burns were minor, but they did cause some bleeding, and traces of the killer's blood were left on the handkerchief. I examined these traces and I can tell you that your killer has A-negative blood. So our killer's blood is A-negative, well, they'll be getting an F in the courtroom. Matthew, we've amassed the necessary evidence to catch Savannah Blake's killer, and it all points to one sadistic culprit. Let's go get him. Can't believe it's not Christian Bateman again. But then again, we've already arrested him. And it's not Rick Murray. It's not Izzy Ramsey. Wait a minute. Nope, it's not Leif Strom. It can only be one person. Clarice Gold, the publicist. Took my time, I looked at everyone. Clarice Gold, you're under arrest for the murder of Savannah Blake. Are you crazy? What makes you think I'd kill my biggest cash cow? Well, we know it was you who threw Mr. Biceps all over her. We found your silver earrings cleaner on the bottle you used. If wearing silver earrings is your only proof of guilt, then I don't think detective work is for you, Senior Trooper Matthew. Oh, we're far from finished, Miss Gold. We also know you threatened Miss Blake with a quote from Transmutators 9, a film you're very familiar with. Yeah, me and the rest of the world. Transmutators is the biggest blockbuster franchise of the decade. Well, the rest of the world doesn't share your blood, which you found on your handkerchief riddled with acid burns. Okay, Senior Trooper Matthew, you got me. I killed Savannah Blake. But she deserved to die. She killed my baby. Miss Blake killed your baby? What are you talking about? I've been trying to have a baby for a long time, and I finally conceived. The doctor said it was a risky pregnancy, and Savannah knew this. One night we were due to attend an event to promote Upton Abbey when Savannah came down with a terrible flu. She was running a high fever and coughing like mad. I told her it was dangerous for me to be around her while she was contagious because of the baby. But she said she couldn't cancel the event and she needed me to be there. The success of Upton Abbey was at stake. A couple of days later, I'd caught the flu from Savannah and had a miscarriage. Senior Trooper Matthew, I've been hoping to get pregnant for years, and I lost my baby, all because Savannah Blake was too selfish to care. I'm sorry you went through such a horrible experience, but killing Miss Blake wasn't going to bring your baby back. I know, but watching Savannah writhe and writhe and shriek in pain as the chemicals burnt her skin gave me some temporary respite. Miss Gold, losing your baby must have been unbearable, but I'm afraid you're under arrest for murdering Savannah Blake. Clarice Gold, you stand trial for the brutal murder of Savannah Blake. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor, but as a mother yourself, surely you can understand my reasons for killing her. Any feelings I have are irrelevant. Now tell me, why did you choose to kill Miss Blake in a television studio of all places? I knew Savannah liked to be alone before every interview, so we wouldn't be disturbed. And studios are soundproofed, so no one would be able to hear her cries of pain. Miss Gold, you clearly have no remorse for the heinous crime you committed. This court therefore sentences you to 21 years in prison with obligatory psychiatric counseling. Case closed. My life is worthless without my baby anyway. Matthew successfully solved Savannah Blake's murder, but as usual, there's no rest for the wicked. We went to the TV studio to find out if Louis LaRue knew anything about Ad Astra. And we better resume that investigation before the trail goes cold. We'll see you guys for To the Stars 5-6. Alright, we're going to start To the Stars 5-6. Matthew, now that Savannah Blake's killer is behind bars, we can turn our attention back to our main mission. Discovering whether Louis LaRue found out anything noteworthy about the conspiracy. We know LaRue had discovered Zoe's telekinetic powers, and that he was keen to learn the truth about what caused them. Knowing the intrepid journalist that he was, he'd have followed the smallest lead, but how far did he get? You're right, if LaRue has any research notes, they'll be in his office. We need to turn it inside out until we find them. Before you go, Matthew, we need to discuss Savannah Blake's alleged charity embezzlement claims. Ah, yes. Izzy Ramsey alleged that Savannah Blake had been pocketing all the money people donated to her charity for her own personal use. Ms. Ramsey sent over proof of her claims to Judge Powell, who's asked to speak with Matthew. Alright, Chief, Matthew and I will go speak to the judge right after we've checked out Louis LaRue's office. And we are coming down to the very end of this season. The new season is out. I wonder if we're going to make a trip back to Pacific Bay sometime soon. I gotta look at the next season, and it's definitely not in Pacific Bay. There we are. Matthew, this filing cabinet has LaRue's name on it. Let's unlock it. $595.95. 65965. There we are. 9 and 7 5 6 7. Got it. The only thing left in LaRue's drawer is this notebook, but everything's written in shorthand, an abbreviated form of writing that journalists use. Gabriel can speak shorthand. He'll tell us whether LaRue wrote anything in it about his research on the conspiracy. Oh, it's only 3 hours. Cool. I thought it was going to be 6 or 9. But let's talk to Judge Powell. Senior Trooper Matthew, the documents Izzy Ramsey sent seem legitimate, and it looks like Savannah Blake was indeed embezzling money from her charity. How unfortunate that of all the times Izzy could be right, it had to be about this. Judge, surely there's a way for us to get the money Savannah stole back. Well, the easiest option would be to determine who will inherit Miss Blake's estate and persuade them to return it. But it will take weeks to identify them through the official route. There must be something we can do to uncover that person more quickly. You're right, Matthew. We know Miss Blake was at the Skin Station Spa just before she died and left some of her things there. Maybe one of them will lead us to her beneficiary. Oh, I know that spa well. I'm sorry I couldn't help you further, but please take this rope so you can fit in. Sounds like my grandma has come home. Oh, I thought that was the clue. Got it. 10,000 coins more. Alright. Matthew, this locket's engraved with Savannah's initials. She must have dropped it here. Looks like there's 2 photos inside, but they're unrecognizable in their current state. We'd better recover them. Must be Savannah's parents. Matthew, the photograph on the left of the locket looks like a young Savannah Blake. And I'm sure Ramirez can figure out who the other girl is Let's send the locket to him. Another 3 hours. Cool. Alright, I'll see you guys when these two are done. Do not go anywhere. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of LaRue's notebook from Gabriel. Matthew, you're not going to believe it. Believe what, Gabriel? Was there something in Louis LaRue's notebook about Ad Astra? It's more than that. Matthew, Louis LaRue is in Ad Astra. He's the 5th member. What? LaRue is an Ad Astran? Are you sure? It's all in his notebook, Matthew. LaRue's fooled us all with his intrepid reporter persona. He's been with Ad Astra all along. In fact, his job at CCN was very useful for the conspiracy. If you recall, it was LaRue who first reported on the fallen meteorite, making everyone believe it was a satellite. The sneaky son of a... And you're right, Matthew. It was also LaRue who told us about Zoe's disappearance. No wonder he wanted to find her, presumably to kill her before she talked. In fact, LaRue did try to kill Zoe once, before the hospital, the day she collapsed in his arms outside the dome. The only reason he didn't succeed that time was because of you, Matthew. But he kept visiting Zoe in the psychiatric hospital to keep an eye on her. He must have known she'd been experimented on with the superhuman serum. And then he saw Zoe levitating cups and wanted to bust her out so he could run more tests on her. We know telekinesis wasn't supposed to be part of the serum's effects. Could it be LaRue who was also surprised by it? That's a good question, but LaRue's notes become incoherent towards the end. All I know is that he was worried about that serum, and he was convinced Zoe held the answers he needed. Matthew, one thing's certain. We need to confront LaRue now that we know who he really is. LaRue, we found your notebook, and we know you're in Ad Astra. Congratulations, Senior Trooper Matthew. How clever of you. Now go away. I'm not in the mood to chat. Not until you tell us what you really needed from Zoe. We already know you were never her friend. She was just one of your experiment subjects. Didn't you watch my recording? You saw what Zoe could do. I had to know. I had to run more tests on Zoe, dead or alive. We know telekinesis wasn't supposed to be part of what your superhuman serum did. Is this why you freaked out and killed Zoe? Because the serum didn't quite work as planned? This is much bigger than that. You don't understand anything. Senior Trooper Matthew, you have no idea what you're meddling in. If you want to stay alive, keep out of it. LaRue, it'll take more than your threats to keep us away from the truth. Senior Trooper Matthew, I don't know about you, but I need some food to take away the bitter taste of this conversation. Matthew, LaRue seemed genuinely freaked out. Frankly, I don't understand. Zoe's skills seem to really worry him, but why? You think a superpower like telekinesis is something the Ad Astrans wouldn't want? Would want? There's clearly something he's not telling us. I agree, we need to search his office again. Okay. It's a long shot, but maybe there's something useful relating to LaRue in that pencil holder. Let's get rummaging.
Cassette tape, that's really old school.
Matthew, this dinky cassette at the bottom of the stationery box is labeled Brie LaRue. Could there be something relating to Ad Astra on the cassette? Let's send it to Kathy and find out. Oh, another 3 hours. Cool. Ramirez, were you able to identify the mystery girl in Savannah Blake's locket? I did, and I believe Matthew's already met her. Her name's Brooke Long. Brooke Long? Oh yes, she was one of our suspects in the Valentine's Day murder investigation. But why was Savannah carrying Brooke's photo in her locket? Because Brooke and Savannah are half-sisters, Matthew. They kept their relationship pretty quiet, which is why the public don't know about it. But it seems they were pretty close. Matthew, if Savannah had a sister, then she could be her beneficiary. And if that's the case, we need to persuade Brooke to return the money her sister stole from her charity. Miss Long, I'm sorry to disturb you during this sad time, but Senior Trooper Matthew and I have a few questions regarding your half-sister. Savannah was my all. She was more than a sister. She was my soulmate. She told me she'd leave everything to me in her will, but I'd give up all the money in the world to have my sister back. Actually, that's what we're here to talk to you about. You see, we have proof that your sister embezzled money from her charity. What? What are you talking about? My sister stole money? It's true that fame kind of went to Savannah's head recently, but I can't believe she went as far as to take money from the needy. I'm afraid it's true, but you can help us, Miss Long. Once you inherit her money, you can return the funds she took back to her charity. Of course, I'll do whatever needs to be done. And here, I'm going to start by donating some of my own money to the charity right now. So an additional 20 coming my way. 20 large. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the cassette tape. Even though I have no school tomorrow, and no classes at all anyway, and even if it's a holiday. Matthew, that cassette you sent me is for old school voice recorders. And some old school journalists still use them, like Rick Murray. This tape belongs to him. At first, there were just long ramblings about Murray's news story. But then listen to this. LaRue is out of control. That imbecile needs to be fired for his unacceptable behavior. Wow, Murray seems pretty mad at LaRue. I wonder what he did. I agree, Matthew. There's only one way to find out. Ask Murray. Where could I have put that darn thing? Looking for this cassette, Mr. Murray? Oh, you found it. I've got some important research on there. Can I have it? First, you need to tell us why you wanted Louis LaRue fired. Because he was insane, Senior Trooper Matthew. A few weeks ago, I was just minding my own business when LaRue came running in and shouting that he needed to send a text message. Before I could stop him, the dude grabbed my phone and ran off with it, texting and screaming incoherently. The next thing I knew, everything went black. What do you mean everything went black? Don't you remember the blackout? Electricity and phone networks were down for hours. Hold on, the moment before the blackout, LaRue ran in and grabbed your phone so he could send out a message? Yep. I tried to look for the fool after, but he and my phone were nowhere to be found. Then I heard you guys had thrown him in jail. Serves him right. So, Louis LaRue tried to send a message right before the blackout disabled all mobile networks. You're right, Matthew. He must have been trying to send the text about human enhancement going the wrong way. But why did LaRue send it? And why was a blackout created to stop it? Whatever the answers, we've got to tell the chief. Chief, we have news. First, Savannah Blake's charity embezzlement case is closed. Her sister Brooke helped us return the money. That's great to hear. But I know you've made other more alarming discoveries, Matthew, such as Louis LaRue being the last member of Ad Astra. Yes, Chief, but LaRue's not willing to cooperate, and there's still so much we don't understand. We know that something about the superhuman serum is really worrying LaRue, and this is the real reason he wanted to run tests on Zoe at all costs. We also discovered that it was LaRue who tried to send that message about human enhancement going the wrong way. We thought it was Ad Astra who stopped the message from being sent, but that doesn't make sense anymore, because why would they block one of their own people? It's clear that there's a lot we still don't know. We'll have to interrogate LaRue again and persuade him to talk. We're too late, Matthew. It's LaRue. He's been found dead in his jail cell. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Just after we arrest Louis LaRue, he's found dead in the next case. Doesn't this bring your memory? Like Danny Moto in Pacific Bay. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait until January 24th, which is another Thursday. For now, some more new stickers. Another 5 new ones. And that's going to do for this case. That's going to do. And we'll see you guys to investigate Louis LaRue's murder on January 24th. Do not go anywhere, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you all soon.